right. How are you, Niles? And welcome to Houston. Are you still here? Or did
Oh
you?
yeah, absolutely. I
Oh,
just met up with some fragrance friends, and we were just swapping, smelling stuff over in City Center in Houston.
okay. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I know exactly what that's at.
Mhm.
Well, I am on the opposite end, and
Mhm.
we're going to have to meet face to face at one point. But
Absolutely.
the busiest few months.
Mm.
I can't hear you. Y'all look. Mm-mm. I had to pull mine out. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's our phones or what. We had some technical difficulties yesterday too.
Is this better now?
Yes, it is better.
Okay, great. I'm not echoing or anything, right?
No, you're not. You're not. Actually, you sound great.
Even
Well,
if,
welcome everyone. Today's live is we're going to discuss the fragrances from City Rhythms. Which I love all the ones I have smelled.
I love everything.
So this is a pure excitement for me to be able to get you on, and you can talk about your brand and everything.
Yeah.
Hey,
Uh,
Niles, welcome.
Hi, Farida. It's really nice to finally get a live with you guys. I know you guys have been really busy as well.
Mm-hmm. It's life for me. It's been life, and it was like October. October was I couldn't do anything. My job that pays me
Right.
actually took over, and I sometimes you got to choose where the check comes from.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know about that. The check comes with stress, but yeah.
But this is exciting. So let's begin with you just talking about the brand. Tell us
Well,
about.
I'll start with how it started. I mean, for those of you who don't know, I basically became friends with a perfumer, and I was telling him my story about coming to the United States as a kid, and we're working in New York City and stuff, and I was telling him how challenging it was, and he was like, "Niles, I can make your own personal scent if you'd like."
Mhm.
I was like, "Yeah, man, let's do it. Take my story and put it in a bottle for me." And he was serious. He really did it. In like in a week time, I had like four little drafts like this, maybe five.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not kidding. So we narrowed it down. Well, four drafts became 10 drafts. Then we narrowed it down to like two and then one. And then I started wearing Manhattan. And, people would ask me, well, Niles, what are you wearing? And I didn't have a name for it. So the ideas kept flowing and I decided to call it City Rhythm Manhattan. Because I'm from the Caribbean. I'm all about rhythm, So I was like, I need to incorporate my style into this brand. It has to be, this scent actually just has to be, just me pouring into it. And
Yeah.
that's how Manhattan was born. And I decided to share it with people and brand it. And then I decided to combine that with my love for traveling. So that's how Miami came to be. Because I love going to Miami just to remind me of the Caribbean. And but Miami had its own vibe too, So I had to incorporate not just me into these scents anymore, but like the actual city, and the
Right.
idea kept flowing and flowing. So um, that's how it started. Really, very simple, very unintended. Um, yeah.
So was it always a dream for you to make a fragrance, or was it based off that conversation with the perfumer that triggered that interest?
It was based off that conversation that triggered it because he told me he could make it, and then I like to say I have a creative mind, and when he said that to me, my gears started turning. And initially I was like, you know what, this is an opportunity. Even if nobody likes it, at least I had the chance to create something
Mhm.
in my lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even if it went nowhere or it went somewhere, I was going to be happy and fulfilled no matter what,
Right.
because I had a chance, an opportunity to create something from scratch, you know?
But
Interesting.
I think that's amazing. It's just it's amazing opportunity to be able to take what's in here and then form it into a fragrance, right?
Yeah.
So what I would like to know is when you did Miami or
Mhm.
when did Manhattan.
Yeah.
How did you put those notes together? Like, tell us that back history, that story.
Perfect question, actually. That's a really good question. So with Miami and Manhattan and all my following scents, even Rhythm and Pulse, I don't know what to put in there. I give him a feeling. I said, I need you to feel this. And when you get that feeling, I need you to put that feeling in a bottle. Don't show me the notes. He will send me 10 drafts, prototypes and stuff. And I tell him, don't even show me the notes until we find that feeling I'm looking for.
Mhm.
Because perfume is all about, to me, it's how it makes you feel, right? That's why we wear it most of the times. It makes us feel good.
Sure.
So that's our method. And it just works because it just comes from a genuine place.
Mhm.
So yeah. And then when I smell it and I get the feeling I'm looking for, I'm like, all right, dude, what'd you put in this? You know? Miami in particular, though, I did want coconut in Miami. That I love anything coconut.
Mhm.
Like bathe in coconut milk. I love it. So
Okay.
Well, I want to tell you, I had posted a coconut post of all my coconut fragrances, and you talked to me. You was like, "Well, wait till you smell Miami."
I think I remember.
You are absolutely correct. I love it. I love Miami, which is a good transition to let's talk about this one. The coconut, for me, in it, but it's not predominant to me. And it comes in and it goes out and it
Yeah.
comes in. I love a good transitioning fragrance.
Yeah.
So when you gave him the feeling to do Miami, and then he gave you this,
Yeah.
did it hit all the spots for you?
And
Did you have to come back and then say, no, I need you to add a little bit more of something?
so initially, like when I was testing the last 4 drafts of Miami, I had one here, and then 2 others here. I look for what jumps out at me, what stands out in that crowd of 4. And that one in particular, that specific draft, as soon as I sniffed it, it took me, I had just came back from vacation. I think, where was I? I think I was in Mexico. And I was like, man, why does it just take me back there? It just transported me back on the beach, you know, with the breeze and the wind and the music. And I was like, this is it. But I need to see if other people feel the same way. So I tested it, my sisters, my mom, my friends, my coworkers at the time. And everyone was just blown away. And even I at the time didn't realize how great of a fragrance it was. To me, I was just enjoying it. And so yeah, that's the one that popped out the most. And that was the one, as soon as it took me to that vacation state of mind, if a fragrance can do that to me, that's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, as a consumer of it, I think you hit it out the park. I absolutely love it. I had an opportunity on a live to get I want a sample of both Manhattan and Miami. And Miami was one that just, and I think every time someone talks about your brand, I'm always in the chat saying, oh, you got to smell Miami. So I'm a hype person for that. I truly do enjoy it.
Appreciate that. Earlier.
Yeah. Even in my household, I started, I think I wanted to get Manhattan, but it was sold out. So I got Miami first. And my sister loved it. So I got her, this is her bottle. So I got her this bottle. And when I got Manhattan, I was really excited. But I noticed that when I layered, so I always say I have 3 fragrances from your first collection. I have Miami, Manhattan, and then I have what I call the M vacation, because when I layer Manhattan, I don't know if Claudia, you've tried it. When I layer Manhattan and Miami together, I get a completely different scent, but a good, like it's my favorite scent when I layer them together. And I don't know if it's because of the bergamot and the violet leaf being repeated in this. Is there something with those two notes that
So a lot of people don't know, and I've been saying this quite a bit. They probably know by now. When I wanted to create a DNA for both scents, and when we were doing Miami, my perfumer told me, he was like, "Niles, I didn't tell you this before, but I put 20% of Manhattan into Miami."
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So
Oh, okay.
I didn't find out until like afterwards that he had done that. And I was like, you didn't think I'd tell me this before? This is such an awesome fact. You know, you just created a DNA from one city to the next. Um, so yeah, so that's probably why they layer so well, as you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So before we get into Manhattan, are there any questions from the audience?
Yes, there's actually one, and I'm gonna post it. What about Trinidad is in Manhattan?
What about Trinidad? Oh, so like where I'm from. I get it. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
So it's more about when I migrated here. It's not really about Trinidad. It's more about me working in Manhattan, doing all these jobs that most people won't do, and Manhattan just uplifting me every time. You know, I walk in, you know, I'd be dressing good, smelling good, you know, on my way to deliver food or scrub toilets or mop floors or whatever. But nobody knew that. They just saw a guy on the train looking good and smelling good, you know. And I as soon as I stepped out of the train, I would see the big buildings, the big lights and everything, and it would just make me forget what I was going to do, and I would just be in the moment.
Yeah.
You know. So I would say it's more about just Manhattan. Trinidad is not really, you know, it's more about just my transition into you know, the United States at that moment.
Okay. What's motivate? What? Sorry. Should I go ahead? Okay. What keeps you motivated, or what has kept you going ever since you started this journey?
That's a really good question. I would say people like you guys. You know, the fact that you guys connect with me so much, it reassures me that I'm doing the right thing.
Oh
You
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
I'm not. I like I've said it from the beginning. I'm not out here to make money, to do money grabbing, marketing, or this and that. I'm here to make things that people can enjoy, that are high quality, and that people can afford.
Yeah.
What keeps me going is just that I just love this. You know, it comes from a creative spot in me, you know?
Okay.
I feel like I've tapped into something that I could channel my creative energy properly, or the way I want to. And I feel like Fragrances City Rhythm has given me the platform to do that. So just
Okay.
seeing it evolve and seeing all the people I connect with, I'm like, first of all, I can't let these people down. Second of all, this is just so much fun meeting all these people.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I've met
Yeah.
people that are just have become such great friends, and I've never met them. Extremely supportive, just always helping out, always even checking in on me. And there are other people I've met that's never bought from me, but I always connect with them still because we just became friends outside of Fragrances. So you don't have to buy from me to support me. You can just be a good friend. And people motivate me. And me knowing where I come from as well, and just growing up with very little, that forces me to have better in life, you know? And that doesn't mean I want a Lamborghini. I just want I just want my creative energy to keep flowing in life and keep giving that way and inspiring people. Inspiring people is something that motivates me as well. When people hit me up in my messages, I'm like, Niles, I really have this idea, and you know, I think I'm gonna go through with it now because seeing how far you've come and what you've done, it's just so inspiring. I was like, bro,
Yeah.
this is what I live for, you know. So this is what keeps me going.
Well, I have a question for you. When you think of your brand, how do you had to be a consumer of your fragrances? How would you rate your fragrance and not really rate it? I guess what I'm saying is where would you put it in a category of a fragrance family? Would you say that Miami is and Manhattan would be such as aquatic, gourmand, woody? Like where would you put your fragrances on that list? If someone wanted to know, you know, there are people out here who are getting into fragrances and they have a particular family that they're trying to dive into, where would you put your fragrances?
So Miami, I would put it in the tropical boozy category. Not a fresh, but it works great in an environment a freshie would work in.
Yes.
It also works great in cooler weather too. I have someone from Canada to hit me up. They're like, no, this works well in the cool weather. He's like, the booze pops out more. And whereas like in the warmer climates, you would get like the lime and the coconut popping out more.
Yeah.
You know, florals. Manhattan, that's a tough one. People have said all kinds of things about Manhattan. They've called it gourmand. They've called it some have called it in the lines of like Zerzhov Naxos, YSL Tuxedo, Parfums de Molly Herod. So I don't know the correct term for those kinds. But you guys might know better.
No. Actually, Manhattan, and I don't have Manhattan. I have the sample, so I'll let Yellow Sense kind of dive deeper into that one. But off of the sample, Manhattan, I would put, if a person was looking for a fragrance, I would say Manhattan will fall more into your I don't know, it's like a magical fragrance. So I get when people say there's nowhere to put it.
Yeah.
But because the opening in Manhattan, I think, is aquatic, right? It's kind of citrus, kind of like a burst of something. And the heart of Manhattan, I think, would be more of a seductive or sultry scent.
Okay.
The difference between why I chose Miami to be my first purchase from you versus Manhattan, now that I know, is because it was something sweeter in Miami that drew me to it. But knowing that it had that percentage in it, I love them both. So I was kind of fighting myself on the website, which I want. But yeah, I think if a person really wants to go for a scent that would be on your skin, it will project, it will give you like a nice bubble around you that is not offensive. Then if you want something and you kind of want a fruity scent, something more tropical, I would say Miami. But I do want to talk about Manhattan, so I'll let Yellow Sense kind of get a little deeper into that one.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Manhattan. This is the best tea scent I have ever smelled, in my opinion. If I was to describe Manhattan in one word, I would say relax. I find it that it's like you're unwinding from a very busy day. It just has that relaxed vibe. And it changes. It's always changing, but it still maintains that relaxed vibe. Now, I don't know if it's because of the cedar wood, because cedar is known to be very relaxing and calming. But there's something about this fragrance, like after my going to Miami and having all this crazy fun, and you just want to relax and meditate and think about all the crazy things that went on in Miami. This is a fragrance I see you just spray on and just reminisce or just daydream. But it lasts all day. It projects smoothly. So relaxing in a beautiful, elegant way. I went for brunch with friends, and many people at that hotel were like, what are you wearing? So this, Niles, you did a great job. Just quickly before I hand over to Niles, yes, it opens up with the citrus, the bergamot, and then the tea note comes in the mid. So the opening has a Miami vibe, and then you just start relaxing. So it's really from a vacation, and then but it projects, but it smells lovely. So I'll let now Niles add to that, but that's Manhattan for me.
So there's been a few people that have said pretty much things along the same lines. The comforting aspect. I've had one person at work back in Jersey, when I was in Jersey, she was like, Niles, I was having such a bad day. I sprayed on your fragrance and I kept getting these whiffs, and it just put me in such a tranquil state and just made me just forget what I was worrying about. So I kept thinking, like, why are all these people getting the very similar vibes? So I go back to the notes and I look, and I remember mentioning to my perfumer, I love frankincense and myrrh. On the note card, it just says incense, but it doesn't tell you what kind of incense. Incense is just a very broad term. There's frankincense and myrrh in there that's in the mid, but it's very subtle, you know? So it's there more for the effect and transitioning the top notes into the bass,
Mm-hmm.
which sort of gives you that dichotomy of like day, evening into night shift.
Yeah.
So that incense is really like I want to say like the hidden gem in there as well.
Oh,
Oh,
good to know.
Yeah.
That explains a lot.
Yeah. It takes so much to build a fragrance. It really, really takes so much. Sometimes you can have it like that, and sometimes it takes months, up to a year. It all depends what you're doing.
well, actually touched on my next question. When your creative mind thinks of a city, because I am so excited whenever you do New Orleans, right?
Oh, I'm excited.
When
You
your mind,
have two people from Louisiana this side,
when your
two
mind,
rival. Go ahead.
do you think notes or do you think the experience?
Experience.
Okay.
That's the rhythm of the city. That's
Oh,
it. Yeah.
okay. Okay.
How do I capture that city's rhythm? That's what I think. I don't even think of a note. Like okay, I'll be honest, if I'm thinking of New Orleans, I know it has to be a boozy fragrance.
Yeah.
There has to be booze in it. Some kind of whiskey accord that I'm thinking with like maybe a bakery bread walking by accord and mixed in there somehow. So I think of those things as well. But I also describe the feeling that I've gotten in New Orleans, And I think I drive my perfumer mad. I'm such an odd, I don't want to say odd, but the way I request things, it's so different. It's so odd. I don't say, hey, build upon whiskey and this and this. No, build on my feelings, man. Feel this. I want you to watch this video. Go to the city. I'll take you. Let's go experience it. So, yeah, that's how it works.
Oh, that is amazing. I want to talk about the new ones to your collection. I got a wonderful opportunity to get to smell Pulse. And just from the notes, I think Rhythm probably would be just as amazing. I want to give out what Pulse did for me. I don't perhaps have that bottle, so yes, Niles has it in his hand. I decided I go to work out at Hot Works, which is a workout establishment where it's heat that is pounding on you while you're doing all your exercises. So I wanted to give that back history. And I put on Pulse. And it was projecting so much that the partner who was in the room with me when I was working out, she was like, I just got to tell you, you smell so good. And I was like, thank you. I tell the maker of this fragrance and I loved it. And you just gave me that it was doing. And I think I was in the car when I replied back to you and said, I think this is amazing. If I connect it with anything, and I hate to do it smells like.
Right.
Everyone has their own fragrance. So I like to give it justice. Pulse smells like Pulse. But anyone wanted to know and it was curious to blind buy it, right? It is light blue intense on steroids. So if you like that fragrance and that fresh note, right? That fresh, clean, fresh out the shower note of light blue, then Pulse is going to blow it out the water. So I will go for Pulse before light blue. That is just my personal opinion. But I want you to talk about your two new fragrances so that everyone know about them.
So the way it started, I mean, some people are still think it's an odd concept wearing fragrances to the gym, but people do it all the time. The thing is, if you think about it, the gym is the one place you should be smelling good, but not like you're at the club.
Right.
So I needed to create a fresh scent profile, but I wanted it to be indie niche quality. And so when we were creating it, I was like, I told my perfumer, like, man, I don't want it to just be, I just make a scent and slap the gym badge on it, the activewear fragrance badge on it. I was like, I need performance, I need longevity, I need it to be the different kinds of freshies that people don't expect. I said I needed to be standalone fragrances. On top of that, I needed it to be activewear fragrances. So the performance is there when you need it, but you can also wear it to the office. You can wear it anywhere. There are standalone fragrances. I market it towards activewear, gym, workout. Even if you're teaching salsa or you're a coach at a basketball team, I marketed it to them because I feel like it's the blends that we used, Ambroxan, ISO-E, and we created something called Skin Radiance. Skin Radiance is a blend of musk that we created specifically for Rhythm and Pulse. So it's 3 different musks to create one accord, and that's what makes it last and move with you and pump. But I really wanted to channel my love for the fitness industry into the fragrance industry. So I was like, it can't just be a fragrance; it has to perform. And these are kept at a 50% X rate as well. You don't meet many freshies that are at a 50% X rate. And so before I created City Rhythm, I was studying to become a personal trainer. And then I was doing practice sessions with different people and stuff. City Rhythm took off. I had to push that aside. I never took the exam, but I completed the course. Was always in my mind to do something and find a way to channel that energy into City Rhythm. And that's how Rhythm and Pulse was born. You know, it's a scent that can be your almost like your personal trainer with you. You're going through a set, you want to keep going, you have a little bit of doubts, then a whiff hits you and you're like, all right, that smell is why I'm here. That smell is tied to me working out. I'm reminded why I'm here. Let me keep going. Let me keep pushing, So that was my process behind it.
Well,
So
you just upgraded my workout. So I've moved from visual workout to sniffing workout.
yes.
So my eyes are nose. Next, I'll move to body workout. But for right now, my visual and my sniffing workout are good. Today, I wore Pulse. I had a question. When you said you had trained to become a personal trainer, is there a chance that right now you've merged that interest with fragrances? Are we going to get more of this beast mode or more like a gourmand workout scent? Just saying. Some of us need some.
The Rhythm and Pulse, you're saying if I'm going to add things?
Yeah. Are you going to go the sports? Like, are you going to add more sports, or is it going to be straight up city and then sports? Is that the trend we're going to see with your fragrances, like city and sport? So
I feel like they're separate. And Pulse line is just under City Rhythm. Think of it as 2 different lines under the same brand. The activewear fragrances, and then you have the City lineup. But I do plan to add some other unique things to the Rhythm and Pulse line. Since they're activewear, I have other ideas for other situational fragrances. That I'm still working on. I have so many things that I'm working on right now, but that is I'm going to be adding to that lineup.
Okay. Well, we can actually transition to that because that was my question. What can we expect from City Rhythms? I know that you are deep into that right now. So that is where your focus is, which is this brand, right? This fragrance line. Where do you want to go? What is 2022 looking like for you? That's going to benefit us as the consumer.
Well, one of the things that I do want to say is that, and another reason why I appreciate people like you is that you guys give brands like me a platform. One of my things going into 2022 is to, like you've seen, I've connected with Shelter and Perfumes and like Carolina Fragrance Reviews and some other brands I'm partnering with, working with as a collective. I want indie houses to have a steady platform, a strong platform to stand on. Bigger houses. We don't have that. And one of the reasons we don't have that is that we don't have the capital for that kind of marketing. Depend on people like you guys and, people who buy from us and stuff. So going into 2022, I want to create a more solid platform for all of us to shine. One of us wins, we all win. There are so many good people out there with so many good perfumes and colognes and fragrances and stuff that they just need more light shed on them. And if I could do it, I'm a new brand. It's only been 7 months, but I have no problem, showing someone what I've learned and bringing them into light, because I don't feel like it's taken away from my brand. If anything, it's adding to it because, it just shows the support that I've created. Some brands aren't down with that because they're still in that mindset. I guess it's like a, how do you say it? What's that corporate world thing?
It's a competition.
Competition, dog eat dog, you know.
Dog eat dog world, yeah.
I don't believe in that. I believe there's enough for everyone.